My name is Ryan Berry, and I'm here to talk to you about working swing shift and the sleep deprivation that goes along with it. Now, there are many things to go against working swing shift, and I'm going to talk about the main one, which is losing sleep and losing your circadian rhythm, which all have very negative health effects. But I have to start off by saying some positive things about it, if nothing else, not to be completely cynical about the issue. First off, you have days off during the week. So let me explain why you have days off during the week, because certain swing shifts have different ways of swinging, as you would call it. Now they're all based on a month rotation or 4 weeks, but for the most part, they still differ quite a bit. And there are several types. One's called the DuPont schedule. And the DuPont schedule usually starts off with 4 days on, 7 days off, 4 nights on, 3 days off, 3 days back on, a day and a half off, 3 more nights on. It's something around that area. And then you have 21 swing. And 21 swing is a little different. You work 7 days in a row, and you only work 8-hour shifts instead of 12-hour shifts like the DuPont or the schedule that I work. And on those 8 days or 7 day stretches, you can work whether it's 8 hours or you can work for 12 hours, depending on if somebody calls in. And that's why they make the schedule that way. And you only get one weekend off a month. The DuPont schedule and the schedule I work, you actually get 2 weekends off a month. And the schedule I work is 2 on, 2 off, 3 on, 3 off. And it goes by, which days, Monday and Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday kind of deal. And again, I have 2 weekends off a month, but I also have 2 days off during the week. Now, this is all assuming we don't have overtime, because anybody knows if somebody calls in sick at work, somebody usually gets called in for overtime. And our overtime's a little different, but I'm not going to get into that. What I'm going to get into is the fact that when we're off, I have all day off. I have, I can get up a little bit late if I want to. I can go to the grocery and there's no big long lines. I can go get my license renewed or tags renewed for the truck. I can do whatever I need to do that day without having to rush during that 1 hour lunchtime that most people do when they work day shift jobs. So there is that's nice about it, and it also allows me to catch up on housework and catch up on on yard work and things like that. And I know a couple of guys that I work with, they really enjoy time at home by themselves while the kids are at school and the wife is at work, that they can get things done around the house so they wouldn't normally with everybody there. So there are good points about it, and I cannot stress the fact that there are good points, but I'm not going to linger on them any longer because there are plenty of bad points about the job. For instance, swing shift usually goes along with places that need you to be there all the time. I work in a power plant, so we have to be there 24/7. If somebody needs to be there to be running the place, because we all need electricity. Now, while I'm there, I'm there. It's 12 hours. 12 hours is a long time. You don't think about it, but that's what it is. You're there, and then you have your commute back and forth, and then you have to wind down and maybe eat supper or get up in the morning and cook breakfast, and that all cuts into it. So that's already where you would have 12 hours of time to sleep. Now you have 2 hours less, so that's 10, and then another 2 hours less. So there's only 8 hours to actually get ready for bed, sleep, and wake up. Now you think that sounds like a lot, but that's only giving you an hour for dinner, an hour for breakfast, an hour both ways for commute, and that could be an issue depending on how far you live. The issue that most people have is that once you get on the schedule, then it's the trouble is going back and forth. Like I said, you go back and forth between days and nights, and the example I'll give you is my own personal account. And the personal account that I have right now is working off night shifts, and granted this is overtime, but I get off this morning at 8 a.m. and I have to go back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and it's called a 24-hour turnaround. It's really difficult, and it really makes you lose sleep because you can't take a nap. and go back into work take a nap and then sleep that night and then go back into work, because you're just not going to sleep at night and you're going to be tired the next day because your body's already used to working nights and not being and then being asleep during the day. So you have to switch yourself. You have to give yourself sleep deprivation and stay up long periods of time during the day so you can sleep at night. And you still don't feel like you caught up on sleep the next day, which is a myth. You can't really catch up on sleep, but it does make you feel that way. So the first few things we have to do is look at how sleep deprivation actually changes your chemistry in your brain and how you can't learn new things. And for people in my situation, going to school like this, it's hard to learn new things with not getting enough sleep, because in the few phases of sleep is when you actually remember and learn new things. Rapid eye movement and non-rapid eye movement is what they call the main two areas of sleep, and non-rapid eye movement is broken down into a few more stages. Those few more stages are just light and heavy sleep that really don't mean much more difference, except for your body temperature and your brain waves start to change a little bit. And it's not till REM sleep, the rapid eye movement, is when you really start to learn things and start to put things into the parts of the brain that need to be put there, whether it's muscle memory or it's actually learning something new from our class. And those things don't get done when you lose sleep. And as far as losing sleep with swing shift, it is a given. It's not an if, it's going to happen. It is definitely going to happen, and it is tough on a body. It makes your mind and body age increasing rate, and it's tough. It really is. But again, it has its good points and it has its bad points. And as long as you can figure out how to get some kind of sleep schedule where you're at least getting some kind of nap during the day when you're off, and that way you still get the recharge that you need. You're not really catching up, but you're still getting some kind of sleep to help go through the day. And that's the main thing to do is make sure you get the sleep, whether your rhythm's off or not. So I hope anybody who decides to work swing shift will be careful of how they lose their sleep. Make sure that you get as much as possible when you can. And I appreciate you listening. Thank you.